What's up guys, it's Pliskin here, and today we're going to give a little bit of love to Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, as I'm sure you've heard me rant about many times before, I feel like there's a lot of games that really shit on shotguns and don't show them for their power and versatility. Red Dead Redemption 2 is different, however, showing shotguns in a mostly realistic portrayal. So with that being said, we're going to go through all the shotguns in Red Dead Redemption 2 and try to figure out which is objectively the best one to use. Alright, so coming in at the bottom of the list, we have the normal double barrel shotgun. Now, this is not by any means a bad weapon. In fact, I wouldn't go so far as to call any of the shotguns in this game a bad gun. This will still munch through pretty much every enemy at close range. With slug rounds, you can get pretty decent range with this thing. There's honestly not a lot of limitations, especially considering that the fire rate is pretty fast. However, those 2 rounds, and just those 2 rounds, are a bit of a hindrance when you get into heavier firefights. Always having to reload is a bit of a pain, and if you're surrounded by a ton of guys, can get you killed. So because of that reason, and that reason alone, the double barrel shotgun ranks lower on this list. There are a couple reasons why the sawed-off double barrel is better than the standard double barrel. The first one is, even though the statistics say there's a difference in range, if you put slugs within one of these things, you'll still get the same type of effect when you're engaging your enemies. So if there is a damage drop-off at ranges, you really don't feel it. Now the second reason why this one's better is because you pretty much get it right at the start of the game. And having it as a sidearm allows you to carry something better suited for longer ranges, for example the starter repeater rifle. So at the start of the game you get an all-encompassing close-range weapon, making this gun really valuable to early game players. The last reason why this gun easily trumps over the standard double-barrel shotgun is the fact that you can dual wield it. Now, this carries a lot of implications in combat. You can fill one double barrel shotgun up with slug rounds and use it for longer range, and then you could fill another double barrel shotgun up with, let's say, the incendiary rounds. So you have a balance of range versus close range spread damage in the form of fire. So you get it earlier, it's versatile as shit, and it can be dual wielded, which also doubles up the ammo count, obviously. And it's always better, even if you're constantly reloading like with the standard double barrel, to just have those extra 2 rounds, because at least you get a little bit more space in there before you have to reload and leave yourself vulnerable. Now this is where the shotguns start getting really top tier. The 1897 in this game is everything you could want out of a pump action shotgun. It's reliable, takes down most enemies, has the same ammo variation. However, the reason why this shotgun outranks both variants of the double barrel is 1, you get more ammunition. With the 2 sawed-off double barrels, you got 4 rounds in total. Here, you get 5 in the magazine tube. And unlike those double barrel shotguns, you can interrupt your reloads in order to fire. So if I got Arthur or John around a corner and some guy runs up after him and I'm loading that magazine tube and I only got 3 in there, I can stop in the middle of that reload and just pump out a couple rounds without it being an inconvenience. Now, if there's one thing holding this shotgun back, it's the fact that it probably has one of the slower fire rates out of any of the other shotguns in this game. Meaning in those rare instances where you don't really hit anything vital, or the enemy happens to be a little too far away and you need to pump out another round or 2 to take them down, it's going to be a lot slower with this shotgun than with other shotguns, even the previously mentioned double barrels. However, I still think it's a better choice to those aforementioned double barrels, simply because you get more ammunition with this, and again, you can go much quicker from reloading to shooting. Coming up in second place, we're going to have the Browning Auto 5. Now, this semi-automatic shotgun is pretty much just like the pump action shotgun with a much faster fire rate, because again, you don't really have to cock anything. You can just, it's semi-automatic, you pull the trigger, it fires. Now, the only reasons this gun isn't at the top is 1, it takes a little bit of getting used to. See, every other shotgun in this game has some sort of cocking mechanism, whether it's having to pull the hammers on the double barrels, pumping a shotgun, or engaging a lever. So with this shotgun here, it's very easy to shoot 2 rounds when you only need to shoot out 1, simply because you're so used to having to press that trigger to rechamber another round manually. However, if you get used to this shotgun is a beast. The only other thing that would be holding this back would be the fact that there's another shotgun on this list that holds more ammunition. The Browning Auto 5 in this game also holds 5 rounds, just like the pump action shotgun. In essence, this shotgun essentially acts as a better version of that pump action. And again, if you mind your trigger discipline and you use this thing properly, it's easily one of the best shotguns in the game, if not one of the best guns in general in the game. Now at the top of the list, unquestioned, reigning champ of shotguns in this game is the 1887 lever action shotgun. This is literally a combination of all of the benefits of using the pump action and all of the benefits using the semi-auto, except here you also get to hold 1 more round. That's right, this shotgun holds 6 rounds, making it the highest ammo capacity shotgun within Red Dead Redemption 2. You get very good range, a very quick fire rate in comparison to the pump action, but it still requires some sort of cocking on your behalf, so you don't have that learning curve that you do with the semi-auto, in the sense where you waste ammo because you're so used to pressing the trigger twice. This is much easier to pick up and use. You get more ammunition with it. You can interrupt reloads to fire if a guy comes around the corner while you're loading this thing. There's really just no downsides to using the 1887 in this game, whether you're firing from the hip to just clear out a bunch of guys in front of you, or taking your time at mid-range to pick off a couple guys with slug rounds. This is the best shotgun. There's really not that much more to say here. Now for those of you that just wanted to see a list about what shotguns are the best shotguns within this video game, that's it. There's no more video for you. However, if there's some of you that are like me and are really into guns and are thinking, Bliskin, if I was a cowboy out in that time period, the same as John Marston and Arthur Morgan, what would be the best shotgun for me to use? Then this part of the video is for you. Now remember how we said the 1887 would be the best shotgun to use in game? That's true, but in real life, that couldn't be any further from the truth. You see, the 1887 was a flawed shotgun from the start. John Moses Browning, the weapon's creator, said flat out to the company he was working for at the time, Winchester, that the 1887 should not be lever action, as lever action would not reliably cycle shotgun shells. He said instead that they should go for a pump action design, as that is much more reliable. Winchester said no, and the 1887 got created anyways, and what do you know? If you try to cycle that thing quickly, it's going to jam up on you. So because of that, the 1887 is in no way the best shotgun to have used in real life. Instead, now while the double barrel shotgun is easily one of the most reliable weapons ever created, I'd say you should go with either the pump action 1897 or the Browning Auto 5, both of which are created by John Moses Browning. He's firearm Jesus. If you guys want to look him up, go ahead and you'll see all of the innovation that came from his little mind. Now, the 1897, it's pump action. Look around today at how pump action is still just as prevalent now as it was then, and you'll see it's a reliable feeding system for shotguns. So if you had an 1897 with you in the Old West and you gave it the proper maintenance, you'd be well. You'd have a gun that would have your back and work when you would want it to work. Now, the much more interesting, at least to me, Browning Auto 5, you might think a semi-automatic shotgun back in the Old West. There's no way this thing could have worked reliably. Well, again, John Moses Browning, firearms Jesus, made this thing work. Now, from what I understand through the research I've done, the Browning Auto 5 has its barrel kind of reciprocate a little bit in order to cycle another round, and apparently this design was so reliable that the US military used it in some way, shape, or form all the way up to Vietnam. Now that's a big chunk of time to be using a shotgun that way. So because of that reason, I'd say yeah, the Browning Auto 5 would probably be a very safe option. If you're not a fan of pump action shotguns and you want that faster fire rate, then yeah, the best weapon to probably have been carrying at that time would have been the Browning Auto 5. But yeah, I'm not going to rant on too long. I just wanted to give you guys that little tidbit, that little bit of knowledge. If you learned something new from that, go ahead, leave a like. If you enjoyed the video and want to hear me talk more about video games and guns, you should probably subscribe. If I got something wrong, or if you feel like there's a detail I missed out on when going over the real life counterparts to these guns, please, by all means, let me know down in the comments below. I'm always eager to learn about new stuff, as I hope you are too. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. This has been Pliskin, over and out.